in real time. In a shocking turn of events, 4 months after his biggest op posted this, rapper G Dollar Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter were shot and killed in a fatal shooting at a car wash. Who pulled the hit? Let's get into it. Tragedy in Forest Hill. It's Monday, March 3rd, and the people of Forest Hill are startled by the tragic events that unfolded at the premises of a car wash. The street is unhappy because a kid was involved. According to news reports, a 35-year-old rapper and his 5-year-old daughter were shot and killed. This footage shows the aftermath of the shooting. As you can see, law enforcement arrived at the scene and marked the territory to retrieve evidence. Later, the victims were identified by a family member as Hood fame rapper G Dollar Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter Romani Sibley. The rapper and his daughter were in a bay at the Sappy Express car wash around 11 a.m. when 2 men pulled up in a white KIA and opened fire on them. A Forest Hill resident reported to the local news outlets that she heard over 12 shots rang out at the crime scene. The shots called out a lot of people from their homes to the crime scene. When the police officers arrived, they could not control the crowd at the crime scene, so they called for additional support. At the time, Ronnie's aunt, Stella Houston, told news reporters that G. Ronnie was just a rapper and a good kid who never targeted no one. What was even more heartbroken was that the little girl just celebrated her 5th birthday a day before. They revealed that rapper Lil Ronnie lived in Crowley, but had stopped by Forest Hill on Monday morning to see his baby girl. The 5-year-old attended elementary school in Forest Hill and was part of the Safari Sports cheer squad. Fans circled back to Lil Ronnie's Instagram page, where he shared a picture in a pose with his daughter and her friend on Valentine's Day. The caption shows how much Lil Ronnie cared about his daughter and her happiness. A local DJ who was friends with Lil Ronnie said Ronnie's most important job was being a father, and he died while at it. A spokesperson for the family, Bishop Rodney McIntosh, explained that the 5-year-old was just taken to the father a few minutes before the tragic incident unfolded. He said, "The mother wants everyone to know she is heartbroken and she is grieving as expected." He urged that the suspects should turn themselves into the police for the sake of the little girl. "On behalf of the mother, I would ask them to do the right thing and come forward. But would they do that? I doubt it." In the surveillance image obtained by TMZ, it appears, without a doubt, that Lil Ronnie was the target of the hit, but it was unfortunate that his daughter was in the car with him. However, some people think the shooters deliberately killed the 5-year-old. A Reddit user claimed there is a video going around which shows that Lil Ronnie tried to get away from the car to save his baby girl, but they went back and got her too, although other reports say otherwise. But guess what? Whether or not the 5-year-old was a deliberate target, she lost her life in the hit, and law enforcement is not going to take the case lightly, especially because residents of Forest Hill are beginning to express their safety concerns. The homicide rate in Forest Hill is on the increase. Documents show that there have been 5 homicides this year in the city. Just last month, Forest Hill witnessed a fatal shooting at a car dealership that killed 2 people and left 1 in critical condition. The police later arrested a suspect identified as 35-year-old Rafael Araguin of Fort Worth, charged with murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Things became worse when a woman chilling casually in her own backyard was hit by a bullet and died instantly. Her brother, who was also hit but survived, told the police that they were just having a family time when the gunshots erupted. It's no surprise when the tragic news of the fatal shooting of Lil Ronnie and his duty hit the press. Fort Worth and Forest Hill leaders made swift action to end the senseless killings. It is glaring that it can only take the collaborative effort of both cities' leaders to curb the increased murder rate ravaging the cities. The leaders jointly issued a statement saying, "We can't keep burying our children." In a press conference hosted by the city leader, Reverend Dr. Michael Bell said, "We call for an immediate cessation of the senseless killings that plague our streets, and we stand together to ensure that no more innocent lives, especially those of our children, are lost in such a hideous act." The conference shockingly revealed that rapper Lil Ronnie lost his brother in 2013 and his mother in 2023. Both lost to gun violence. McIntosh, who spoke on behalf of Lil Ronnie's family, also revealed that Lil Ronnie left behind a 12-year-old daughter who would have to deal with losing her grandmother, father, and sister to gun violence, trauma on top of trauma. McIntosh expressed heartfelt pain, saying, "We always talk about healing and making a change and wanting to see change when moments like these happen. Let's stop the knee-jerk reaction, and let's make sure we're working continually to make sure that a family doesn't have to deal with this type of tragedy." Some people are pointing out that Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter lost their lives as a result of the continuous chain of violence in the rap culture. While some fans blame Lil Ronnie for carrying his daughter around the city despite knowing that he was all about that life, some only blame the shooters for ending her life. But the ultimate question remains, who are the shooters? Suspects on the run. Shortly after the tragic incident, the suspects hit the road to escape justice. The police put out a statement to help in the search of two males wearing blue jeans and gray sweaters who escaped shortly after the shooting in a white KIA. At the time, because a child was involved, a judge issued a capital murder warrant for the suspect. Even more intriguing, police identified the first suspect early in the investigation, though his identity remains undisclosed, while the second suspect has yet to be identified. But you know how it goes down in the streets, yeah? If the police say they have the identity of the first suspect, then it's only a matter of time for everything else regarding the operation to come crashing down. Considering the sensitivity of the investigation, Forest Hill Police Chief David Hernandez declined to address questions regarding whether or not surveillance cameras captured the incident or whether spent shell casings were recovered from the scene. However, as you already know, while the police are doing their work, the street is also putting in work to identify the shooters. Normally, identifying suspects on the street is considered snitching, but in a case where a child is killed, people start to talk. A YouTuber under the page, Ratchet, the Hood journalist, claimed he has been gathering inside information about the hit, who pulled it, and why. The Hood journalist claimed that even amidst unconfirmed reports, his informants identified two suspects, one of which is a presumptive match with the police description. The Hood journalist alleged that this dude by the name of Cam has been chasing clout on the internet, trying to take credit for the hit. Shortly after the incident, the dude posted a series of contents and now deleted posts, hinting that he was involved in the hit. However, Cam is the guy who does not fit the suspect description detailed on the police warrant. But there is another dude, Lil 6K. The Hood journalist alleged that there is a high probability that Lil 6K is one of the suspects on the run. Whispers on the street pointed to Lil 6K as the shooter who doubled back to be sure Lil Ronnie was totally dead. Hold up, it gets even crazier because the entire street is pinning the murder on Lil CJ Casino. Why? Because Hood fame and the casinos have been at it from back in the day, with records showing Lil Ronnie used to diss the casinos with hits like The Ops. Now here is the thing, a little research on our guy Lil 6K shows that he is connected with casinos and fits the suspect description on the police warrant. To be honest, it's all very early in the investigation and a lot of rumors are flying around the street at the moment. As I said, it's still very early in the investigation and the suspects are definitely laying low trying to cover their tracks. But one thing is certain, the law enforcement will not rest until the suspects are jailed. No city police jokes with a gang hit involving a kid. Hold up, something similar happened in Jacksonville back in the day that led to the dismantling of a big gang operation. Let me plug you in. Back in the day, a deadly gang called PCE, or Problem Child Entertainment, ran the streets of Jacksonville. According to police reports, this gang was responsible for most of the violence and killings on the street. They thought they were invincible, but their fall was just by the corner. This organized crew of OG Jacksonville gangsters was dismantled in a 2017 RICO case that ended with most of its senior members in jail. What went down? PCE attracted the wrath of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office following a tragic January 2016 hit where a 22-month-old Aiden McClendon was killed. Reports say he was the toddler was sitting in the back seat of a car alongside his mom and grandma when he got hit multiple times by a drive-by shooter. After years of investigation, the police connected the spent casings to the PCE crew. From there, everything else came crashing down. Two members of the PCE were convicted for the murder, and the entire operation was brought down. Kids are off limits. This is proof that the feds are always watching. If you stick your hands in something dirty, then it's just a matter of time until you get caught. As noted by the assistant director in charge of the FBI Los Angeles field office, Akil Davis, while you're going about your life thinking you got away with it, the FBI is piecing together the facts that will serve as your undoing. But these dudes are never in the loop. After pulling a hit like a fearless gangster, they run into hiding like rats. Almost the same situation with Julio Fulio's hit. 5 suspects traveled over 3 hours from Jacksonville to Tampa to kill him. Right after the hit, everyone laid low, but the police were always doing their work. In less than a month, JSO identified the suspect and arrested 3, but 2 brothers hit the run, Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy. But shortly after, the police showed up at the apartment where Rashad Murphy was lying low. After nearly 12 hours of negotiation without Rashad's compliance, a sheriff's office SWAT team breached the apartment to try to force Murphy out. In the long run, seeing that he had no room for escape, Rashad Murphy surrendered to authority and gave himself up shortly after midnight. However, at the time, law enforcement was still searching for Davion Murphy, who had surprisingly maintained a low profile since the first arrests were made. Months passed, and everyone thought Davion Murphy had escaped the country. Then, in an unexpected turn of events, JSO announced that Davion Murphy was arrested, ending a 4-month search. It was revealed that Davion was arrested at an apartment on LaBelle Street in Jacksonville. I was like, wow, this dude has been in Jacksonville. All along, I thought he fled to Africa, and that has always been the drill. So it's just a matter of time until the shooters who caused pain and sadness on the street of Forest Hill get caught. However, people are still trying to decipher whether or not Lil Ronnie had money on his head or it was just a street move. However, given the nature of the operation, most people think it was not a paid hit. Speculations are that someone at the car wash dropped the location when rapper Lil Ronnie arrived. And guess what? A resurfaced video of Lil CJ Casino is going viral. In the video, he was warning rapper Lil Ronnie and his friend Go Yayo not to ever show up at the exact car wash where Lil Ronnie was killed. Although he made the video 4 months ago, fans are using it to connect the dot in the Lil Ronnie hit. Lil CJ Casino continued to run his mouth on the internet, claiming the Hood Fames got no solid killer in their crew since they got no dead ops. And then he bragged about his own hits, hinting that he got bodies counting to his toes. As soon as the video went viral, a series of reactions erupted in the comments. One user declared, "CJ Casino marked for death. He shouldn't have posted that video saying don't get caught at that car wash." Another user tried to confirm that it wasn't a paid hit. Definitely not the cartel. That was not a planned hit. If they said he couldn't go to the car wash, maybe they had eyes on it. The attendant may have called them and gave them the drop that he was there. Very sad that baby got caught in that mess. Justice for baby girl. But here's a different perspective. He's not talking about Lil Ronnie. That video was about his Go Yayo beef. Well, what fans are saying is that Go Yayo and Lil Ronnie were tight homies, and if Yayo had beef with Lil CJ Casino, then Lil Ronnie was definitely in with him. Like I said, it's a lot of talk. Another user tried to explain that CJ Casino was talking about MO3 in that video, not Lil Ronnie. MO3 was one of the big names coming out of Dallas City. At the time, MO3 said he had money on his head. Then in November 2020, MO3 was on Interstate 35 in Dallas when another car pulled up on him and started letting out shots. Police reported that the suspect got out of his car and approached MO3 while he was sitting in a car. In an unexpected turn of events, MO3 exited his vehicle and began running. He was chased by the suspect who simultaneously fired rounds at him. According to police, MO3 was shot multiple times before the suspect drove away in a dark-colored sedan. At the time, Go Yayo was beefing with MO3, and if Lil CJ Casino was talking about his beef with Go Yayo in the resurfaced video, then it was definitely the MO3 hit. It's a lot of beef going on over there, and it was unfortunate that a little girl was caught up in it. A lot of people are saying that they did not know who Lil Ronnie was before the news of his death. It's Texas. They always keep their stars to themselves. But let me plug you in. Who was G Dollar Lil Ronnie? Ronnie Lil Ronnie Smith, popularly known as G Dollar. Lil Ronnie was a Fort Worth rapper renowned for using his music to tell street tales with sharp precision. He gained widespread recognition for tracks like Hood Fame, Killer Monty, Wops, and Crash P-Tent 4. His last body of work dropped in 2023, and his last release was a single titled Chase in 2024. Lil Ronnie always bragged about being the best gambler in his city. To understand a rapper like Lil Ronnie who ended up in a tragic situation like this, you need to understand his upbringing. In an interview with Say Cheese TV, Lil Ronnie spoke about his early life. He revealed that he hopped on the street from the early age of 9 because the streets looked like the only option he had for survival. When asked why he jumped off the porch so early, rapper Lil Ronnie explained when he was in 5th grade, he met a lot of friends who introduced him to their hoods and a whole lot of other hoods on the south side. He gave props to his late friend Fat T, who introduced him to street life in the hoods on the south side at the age of 10. Lil Ronnie explained that after his grandma died, he was let loose on the street because his mom was on the street too. With his mom on drugs, Lil Ronnie explained that he'd rather be on the street than worry about things she was doing. So yeah, he pushed on. He adapted on the street and was all about making money to get out of the trenches. Growing up on the street, Lil Ronnie started buzzing as a rapper, and everyone in Texas was vibing to his jam. But music wasn't the only way out for Lil Ronnie. He was gambling and stacking a lot of money from it. He often bragged about being the best gambler in Texas. Make no mistake of thinking he was capping, Lil Ronnie made a big name for himself with gambling. But he didn't just emerge as the best gambler in the city, he put in work. In 2021, Lil Ronnie released an album titled Best Gambler Texas Ever Saw, and I was like, damn, this dude was serious. When I dug deeper about Ronnie's gambling, guess what I found? The dude went to a dice school and graduated with honors. What was even more mind-blowing was the fact Lil Ronnie explained that he didn't have to study hard to earn his honors in dice school. He was talented and everything came easy for him. In that same interview, rapper Lil Ronnie said the most common mistake people make while playing dice is thinking they are lucky. He was trying to say that he kept winning solely because he was the best, not lucky. If Lil Ronnie was the best gambler in Texas, then I'm really curious about how much money he made from it. Lil Ronnie claimed there were days he made $50 15 to 20K in profit, while on his bad days, he made 6K profit off playing dice alone. It's really crazy work. But with that much money entering, a lot was going out. And it appears that Lil Ronnie splashed a hell lot of money on drugs too. Although he claimed he was not an addict, Lil Ronnie splashed almost $3K a week on lean. Almost $3K a week on lean is a lot of money, but the dude was making it back, so who cares? Some people pointed out that if Lil Ronnie was only making his money on street gambling, then he would have been alive. But you know, the dude was rapping and dissing other people in his songs, trying to prove that he was all about that life. In his song Real Ones, Lil Ronnie raps, "Rashad know he a hoe, he posts a gun, but he won't kill none. I'm clumsy with this stick inside my hand cause I'ma spill some." In this jam, Lil Ronnie antagonized someone for not being able to shoot someone. Meanwhile, in the line, he claimed he was reckless with a gun, meaning he could kill someone. But that's the rap culture today. If you are a rapper and you are on the street, then you are either in jail or you are dead. But if you are alive and free, then you have targets on your back. G Dollar. Lil Ronnie was not an exception. Word on the street is that the Monday shooting that took him out was not the only time he was shot at. The rapper claimed he survived multiple shootouts on the street. In an interview with Say Cheese TV, Lil Ronnie was asked to talk about the situation with Go Yayo, where both rappers were attacked in a shootout after leaving a show. Lil Ronnie explained that violence is a big part of the entertainment business, and everyone on the street has to watch their back all the time. The street is a crazy place to be, and your homie could turn into an op overnight. Even at the time of this interview, Say Cheese TV was surprised that Lil Ronnie was being targeted in a shootout because the rapper was cool and appeared to be everybody's favorite. No wonder when the news of his death hit the internet, people kept talking about how cool he was on the street and how his baby girl did not deserve to be caught up in the violence. But it is what is on the street. Sadly, the only thing flying about Lil Ronnie right now are tributes for the life he lived and that of his daughter. His right-hand man, Go Yayo, paid his last respects to the fallen rapper from behind bars. He said, "Life or death for you, brother. I'm dead inside. Y'all took my heart." Go Yayo was sentenced to 41 months in prison after the feds reopened his gun case. A fan posted on X, "Sad day in Dallas-Fort Worth. G Dollar Lil Ronnie, hood fame Lil Ronnie, best gambler in Texas, and his 5-year-old daughter were fatally shot at a car wash in Forest Hill. Rest up, Ronnie." Shockingly, Lil CJ Casino reacted to the incident on his IG story. "Kids are off limits under any circumstance. Everyone could see that kids getting killed over grown men's business is a violation. Fans and friends continue to reach out to the family with their prayers that the family be comforted in this time of grief. And if you'd like to see another video like this, click the one showing on your screen right now.